Hi, this is Pete Morrill with Mountain Kennels. This is Sundance. We're learning about canine connections, aren't we? Oh, so what I want to do is I want to tell you the importance of the place. Okay, so this mat is her place. And so when I identify a place for a dog, I'm going to identify where I want her to spend the majority of her time and where I want her to go right away. So at first we do the kennel command on these different surfaces. Now remember, when we go kennel command, we challenge that kennel we demonstrate that by pointing to it and then kennel. And then we do temptation. Now, all I want to say, because we've already done this a good bit, is when she is about to move off, the only thing I'm going to do is check her with a little bit of a tug to remind her, and I might growl just a bit. We're probably not going to get her to come off because she's got this pretty well down, but we're going to try. Good girl, good girl. That's what I thought. She's not going to give up that place until I tell her another place. Here, kennel, good girl. Now, when I've established this place, we want her to train herself. And so the way I'm going to get her to train herself to stay on her mat is I'm going to hook her up. And what's going to happen is if I go somewhere, she might stand up. And it's going to be the exact same correction, a little tautness on her neck. And there's not going to be anybody to growl there, but she's not going to be successful. So really quickly, she's going to learn that this is her place. When I let this dog in, she goes to two places right away. She goes to this, or she goes to a mat in my office. And she stays there. Now why? Because I put 2 kibbles of dog food on at first. So I have trained her, or I have paid her for going to her place. Now what we want to do is establish you need to stay at this place for an extended period of time. So she almost automatically goes down, and then I can go about my business, but she's learned her place. Also realize that maybe you don't like that color, or maybe it doesn't match your couch. So there's all kinds of things that you can use to identify her place. The nice thing about this is it's a good natural boundary for the dog. So I do like this, probably one of the best. The negative about it is this is pretty hard to stuff in your washer machine. So if she comes in muddy or it starts smelling like dog after a while, it's a little bit hard to launder. This one is the opposite. It doesn't have the boundaries, so that's the negative about it. But you can get these in all different kinds of colors. They're super cheap. And they unzip and they take the inside out. It's not going to unzip for me easily, but you can see that the inside is just like a big pillow, and then I can put this in the washing machine, and then I can just wash that. So, and then the last one that I would really encourage you to do is this is just a crate liner. And what's nice about this is I take this to the park with me. I can roll it up and stick it easily in my car or my trunk or the back of my truck. And then when we get to the park, we can play frisbee with her, and then when we're done with frisbee, we can put this by a tree where she's in shade, and we can say kennel, and she knows that she's supposed to stay on that place. Identifying a dog's place makes them more secure. You go to a different home, you go to a hotel, and you roll one of these out, and all of a sudden, I am where I'm supposed to be. You go duck hunting and you put something like this, maybe it's going to be camo colored, and she knows where she's supposed to be. You go in a boat and I have identified for her exactly where I want her to be. This dog is really good. She just comes into the house, she goes right here, or she goes to the pillow in my office, and then she stays there. What's going to happen is eventually they're just going to do it, and you're not going to need this hookup. Eventually she's just going to do it, and she's going to stay there until you ask her to come off. So Pete Morrill, Deepening Canine Connections with Sundance, and we're just it's all about teaching her her place and identifying for her her place. That's a good girl. That's a good girl. Yes.